How long can a U.S. Navy submarine stay underwater? Days, weeks, or even months? Unlike regular ships, nuclear submarines do not rely on air to run their engines. They carry their own power source, and it can last for years. But power is not the only limit. The real question is, how long can the crew survive below the surface? If you want to explore more hidden power beneath the ocean, subscribe to Navy Explained, because the most powerful machines in the world are the ones you never see. The reason U.S. Navy submarines can stay underwater for months begins with one powerful system, a nuclear reactor. Unlike diesel submarines, nuclear submarines do not need oxygen to produce energy. Inside the vessel, the reactor generates heat through nuclear fission. That heat turns water into steam. The steam spins massive turbines, which power the submarine's propeller and every system on board. And here is what makes it extraordinary. The fuel inside the reactor can last for years without refueling. This means the submarine does not need to surface for power. It can remain hidden deep underwater, moving silently across oceans without ever revealing its position. In terms of energy, the ocean is no longer a limit, but power alone does not decide how long a submarine can stay submerged. Power is unlimited, but humans are not. Inside a U.S. Navy submarine, survival depends on air, water, and food. Oxygen is not stored in tanks for months. It is produced on board. Using a process called electrolysis, the submarine splits seawater into hydrogen and oxygen. The oxygen is released into the air system, allowing the crew to breathe normally. Carbon dioxide is removed using advanced scrubbers, keeping the atmosphere stable and safe. Fresh water is also created from seawater through desalination systems. The biggest limitation is food. Storage space is tight, and every meal is carefully planned. When food supplies begin to run low, the submarine must return. Not because it runs out of power, but because the crew does. A U.S. Navy submarine can technically remain underwater for months at a time. Some deployments last over 70 to 90 days without surfacing. During this time, the crew does not see sunlight. There are no windows, no fresh air, no sense of day or night. Time is controlled by artificial lighting and strict schedules. Sailors work in rotating shifts, 6 hours on duty, 6 hours off, repeating the cycle every day. Space is limited. Privacy is almost non-existent. Exercise happens in narrow corridors. Sleep comes in small bunks stacked tightly together. Communication with families is minimal and often delayed. The ocean above them may be thousands of meters deep. In this environment, mental strength becomes as important as technology, because in the silent depths of the ocean, isolation is the real challenge. A nuclear submarine does not surface because it runs out of power. The reactor can operate for years. Instead, surfacing is usually planned. The most common reason is resupply. Food storage eventually runs low, and fresh supplies are needed for the crew to continue operations. Maintenance checks may also require access to the surface. Severe weather conditions or communication requirements can sometimes play a role. In rare cases, emergencies force immediate action. But modern submarines are designed to handle most situations without ever revealing their position. When a submarine finally rises to the surface, it is not a sign of weakness. It is simply the end of one silent mission and the preparation for another. So, how long can a U.S. Navy submarine stay underwater? Technically, for months. Its nuclear reactor provides power for years without refueling. It creates its own oxygen. It produces its own fresh water. It moves without needing the surface. But the true limit is not the machine. It is the humans inside. The endurance of the crew, their mental strength, their ability to live in isolation beneath thousands of meters of ocean. Modern submarines are engineering marvels, silent, powerful, and nearly invisible. Yet behind every mission are sailors who operate in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. In the end, a submarine does not surface because it must. It surfaces when the mission is complete, and then it disappears again. If you want to explore more hidden power beneath the ocean, subscribe to Navy Explained, because the most powerful machines in the world are the ones you never see.